This is Waterloo Bridge, and it's been here since 1945. The bridge that stood here before it, however, was completed in 1817 and had a notorious reputation. By the 1840s, it had become somewhat unfortunately known as a popular spot for suicide attempts, and throughout that decade, a full 15% of London's suicides are said to have taken place there. That made for a total of around 30 every year. And in 1844, poet Thomas Hood, on writing of one woman who jumped to her death, had famously referred to it as the Bridge of Sighs. His poem, as it happens, had then also inspired painter George Frederick Watts's work Found Drowned, in which the woman's lifeless body is depicted beneath the bridge, but not everyone who died here had intended to do so. If you'd been here at 2:30 in the afternoon on the 11th of January 1841, you would have seen 28-year-old American Daredevil Sam Scott standing here on a wooden platform as he prepared to make a daring leap into the icy waters of the Thames. Scott, by that time, had made himself a celebrity by doing similar things in New York, Boston, and Philadelphia, and his arrival in London had received widespread newspaper attention. As a result, thousands of men, women, and children had gathered to watch, and with the time drawing near, were growing eager to see him jump. But to build the suspense, Scott was first performing his warm-up acts. One of them, however, surprisingly enough, was a mock execution in which he hanged himself by the neck. To do it, a scaffold consisting of 3 horizontal poles had been erected on the platform, and the rope, with a slip knot, was hanging from the top one. While seated on the middle pole, Scott would secure it around his neck, step off very carefully, and then, after remaining suspended for a short time in the air, step back onto the lower pole to regain his former position. To loud cheers from the crowd. He did it once and then twice without any problems, but then, as he stepped off for his third attempt, something went drastically wrong. The rope, it was said, came down lower than was intended, dropping him too far to get his feet back onto the lower pole and violently breaking 2 bones in his neck. On watching it happen, however, nobody had known what to do. Some had even thought that it must surely have been part of the show. But when his face began to assume the appearance denoting strangulation, everyone suddenly realized what was happening. With the crowd now watching on in horror, his body, it was said, became suddenly agitated by a thrilling motion before he stopped moving entirely. But although a number of people then stormed onto the platform to save him, it was too late. He was without the slightest motion by then, one newspaper would report, and was quite dead. Don't forget to leave a like on the video or share it out so other people can see it. I'll see you back here next week for another Morbid Monday.